What an episode of CWF Mid-Atlantic Worldwide this week. Jeff Edwards already has his leg warmers on from this week.
I got the leg warmers. I got the gloves out, White. I'm ready to go.
Anyway, you can't be looking nowhere near as hot as our special guest this evening, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only, the host or hostess, ring announcer, sometimes brilliant commentator, the lovely CL Party. CL, how are you doing tonight?
I am great. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Our first question out the gate, we have to get this in because Robert Ventura just has to ask a question.
Yes, please. Get Bobby's question in.
That's right. Get Bobby. Oh, dang it, Bobby. Anyway, it's off the rails already. What does the CL stand for?
So my actual name, my full name is Christy Lynn Pardee. So my wrestling name is just my first two initials and then a play on my last name. So it's CL Party.
There you go. Hey, okay. if you're born with it, why not use it?
Right, exactly.
I want to go ahead and get the usual questions out of the way, unless Jeff had anything he wanted to jump in with first.
Not specifically, but I did want to get Bobby's question in because, on Twitter he said, I don't want to be that guy. What? I was going to be that guy because I wanted to know the exact, is it a party reference? Are you into partying? But it turns out it's just your name. So there you go.
No, that's the funny thing is I am like that person that is in bed by 9 p.m. on a Friday night. So I'm like the exact opposite of a partier, but whatever.
She even agreed, folks. This shows you what a trooper she is and what an awesome person she is. CL Party agreed to, she shot me a tweet or a message going, I'm normally in bed by 9, but I'll stay up late just for you guys. So, CL, I have to make a correction here.
Okay.
So, well, never mind. I won't go there. I won't go there unless you go there because you corrected me on something last week at the show, and I don't know if you want me to divulge that, so I won't.
I don't care. It's fine. I was just messing with you.
So CL, I say hi to CL Party at the show last Saturday in Gibsonville, which they said this week is a suburb of Greensboro, and I don't think anything could be further from the truth. But anyway, and she goes, I have to clear something up. She says, CL Party and Eric Andrews aren't dating. She said, Christy and...
Josh.
Well, I didn't know if he wanted it divulged. Kayfabe still can't exist. But Christy and Josh, that's a different story. So I had a chuckle at that when I got corrected in person. But the usual questions here. CL, how did you get introduced into this wonderful world of wrestling? Because I know chatting with you on Facebook or on Twitter, you're not originally from North Carolina. You're a Florida girl.
Yes.
So how do you go from Florida? Were you in the business down in Florida at all? Was it through your affiliation with in your relationship with Josh that you got introduced into the business? How does a beautiful woman from Florida wind up in, by God, North Carolina in the wrestling business?
So I actually became a wrestling fan very late in life because I was really sheltered and I wasn't allowed to watch it. So of course, when I went to college, that was one of the first things that I did, and mostly to impress a guy. But I got into wrestling, and so I was just I became a fan, and I'm the kind of person that I will obsess over something. So I was I need to learn everything I can, and blah blah blah. So I just became this huge wrestling nerd fan, and that was when I was still in Florida. And so when I graduated college, I didn't have a job or any prospects or anything. So my aunt and uncle invited me to come stay with them for the summer up here and try to get a summer job. And so I lived in Charlotte for a little bit, and then I ended up loving North Carolina. So I moved up here permanently and got further and further north. But yeah, I was not in the business at all. I was just a fan. And then Brad Stutz found me on Twitter one day. Actually, I found him. I started following him, and I posted this ridiculous video for EC3 when he was doing some kind of contest to be his assistant. So I posted this video application, not thinking anything of it, just trying to be funny. And Brad Stutz messaged me and was like, you have a great presence on camera. I'd love to be able to use you for something. And I was like, what? Are you crazy? Are you kidding me? No way. But he invited me to come up. So I came up one weekend and checked out CWF, fell in love, obviously, as everybody does with the show. And then he realized that I am almost 6 feet tall. So he didn't want to use me as a ring announcer at first. So I just started as a concession girl, and here I am now.
It's weird that he found you, because I thought it would have, I thought it was the other way around, honestly, from everything that I had gathered. But I'm glad he found you, because I don't mean to be a shill, and I'm going to say this with most absolute sincerity. You're absolutely beautiful. And a lot of people in the crowd at 80s night, there was one idiotic old man in behind me that kept calling you Tammy Faye Baker. But I thought, honestly, the thing that got Jeff, I don't know, the thing that me and Jeff started talking about when we started this show was that Pins promo. And Jeff goes, we need more of this in wrestling. We need more. Sex appeal can be a good thing in a day where, we celebrate, International Women's Day every year, and, women are empowering. It's nice to know that you can empower women and treat women with respect, but still have them flaunt what, if there is a God, gave them at the same time. Jeff, any questions here?
Well, before I ask any questions, I just want to say I'm just glad Christy's with Josh, because Christy, you don't want stay away from the Andrews guy. Because I've been watching CWF now for about 4 weeks. All the guy does is cheat. Stay away from him. He's bad news. He's a bad dude.
I can't stand that.
He can't stop cheating to save his life. So I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
But my big question for you, CL, is being a part of the TNA Total Nonstop Deletion episode, whether we want to realize it or not, that whole broken universe thing that the Hardys did in TNA, it is a big chapter in the history of pro wrestling. And people are going to remember this 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. And you and the rest of the CWF roster were heavily involved in that. What is it like to be able to just start in this business? You're working in CWF. Whether you realize it or not, you're a part of a big part of the history book of pro wrestling. So what is that like to be a part of that?
I definitely realize it. And I mean, like, I called my whole family and everything, and I was like, guys, I'm going to be on TV. Everybody watch it. And my poor family had to sit through that entire thing. None of them are wrestling fans. So they were texting me like, what the hell is this? When are you going to be on? But yeah, so I am so, so grateful for that opportunity. It was so much fun. And like you said, it's like really cool to be a part of something that was just so different. And looking back, like you said, it really is important. And, at the time we didn't know, we were like, this could change the business. Like, you know what I mean? So it was just so exciting. But at the time, like, I try not to think about things like that as I'm doing it, because I have a tendency to overthink things and get really, really nervous. And so I didn't want to do that, obviously. So I was like, just, hanging out at the Hardy's house, having fun. Everybody's having a good time. Like, we're just filming this thing, whatever. But it kind of helped that the entire production crew actually thought that I was a legitimate reporter. So they were like, I get there and I'm like, hey, what are we doing? And they're like, oh, just do your normal thing. We're just going to, it's going to be weird. It's going to be volcanoes and stuff. And I was like, right, yeah, totally. I can just do my normal thing. Yeah. So I have Grant Sawyer to thank for making me the professional that I am, that I could pull that off and have everybody think that I'm a legitimate reporter.
The crazy part is there is a wrestler in North Carolina. I believe he's a weatherman at one of the North Carolina news stations who actually is a pro wrestler.
Sportscaster.
Yeah, or sportscaster. Yeah. So these guys actually, the guys from Spike, like Borash and everybody like that, actually thought you were an actual news person?
I don't know about Borash, but the camera guys, and I think there was some confusion because I guess they knew that Chris Lee used to work for CWF. So when Brad Stutz was like, yeah, I have someone, maybe they thought it was the actual reporter. I don't know. But they were like, oh, it must be fun to just get to report on crazy shit for a change. And I was like, yeah, totally. My regular job is so boring.
What a thing to say to a reporter in this day and age, oh, you must be nice to have report on some crazy stuff. It's like, have you watched the news lately, buddy?
Well, you have to remember this was before the election, so.
Yeah. So for those who didn't know, she was we have Christy's Twitter handle up on there in her picture, one of her many lovely pictures. She's at CL Party, and she on that Apocalypto episode, the episode that came to you entirely from the Hardy's compound, I believe a ton. In fact, almost the entire show was made up of nothing but CWF people. She was Betty Sue Fuentes. How did the name Betty? Where did you come up with that name, or did somebody else come up with that?
I did not come up with that name, actually. I had chosen a different name, and I thought that's what we were going to use. And then I was watching TV with everybody else and saw Betty Sue Fuentes, and I was like, who the heck is that? So that was not me. I have no idea who came up with it. But,
that sounds like such a Vince McMahon name, doesn't it, Jeff?
Totally.
It's like,
totally.
Goddamn, she's from North Carolina. Just call her Betty Sue. It's and so you're now Betty Sue Fuentes, and the sad part about all this is that Impact now, I don't know if this applies to you or not, but it goes to the whole Broken Hardys thing and the way they've been treated. Are you allowed to be Betty Sue Fuentes anywhere else after what we've seen the last couple days with the Hardys?
No idea. I don't know if you saw the CWF episodes where Betty Sue was reporting, but that was leading up to when we had the Hardys on our show. So that was before all of that. So I'm not really sure. I haven't asked anybody. I have no intentions of being Betty Sue, unless I guess it was asked. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that, actually.
So what was it like closing down a highway in North Carolina? Obviously, the police didn't know you were doing this, or did they?
Actually, I think the police drove by at one point. It was very late at night, so my stuff was filmed separately from everybody else. Mm-hmm. So it was just like a random weeknight, and I think those barricades were already up. I'm not sure, but I literally just came in and filmed my stuff and then left. So but it was really late at night, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But it was kind of funny because random people would drive by and be like, "What the heck is going on?"
Hell, Spike
it's
TV
nothing ever happens
there
in Cameron, North Carolina.
Jeff, anything else here? You're being awfully quiet over there.
No, keep going. Keep
okay.
going. Go ahead.
So I didn't want to run all over you here.
I'm used to that, Joe.
For those who don't know, it's not, for people watching that Apocalypto episode and here comes Trevor Lee in a pickup truck hooping and hollering down the road. It's not that uncommon to see a pickup truck full of rednecks run down the road past a bunch of barricades in North Carolina or Virginia, for that matter. So I doubt if a cop did drive by, he would say anything to you.
Yeah, it was really fun. And that was really cool, too, that, I got to have that scene with Trevor Lee and Andrew Everett because, they're my CWF people, so it was kind of cool that we got to have that little scene together.
I have to ask, because if you go on your Facebook page, there's pictures of you managing Nick and somebody else looking very goth. Jeff, if you think Priscilla looked hot, you need to go look at these pictures. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, I'll jot that down really quickly here.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Anyway, are you? I feel the need to ask this here. Are you trained as a pro wrestler? Have you been through any type of wrestling school?
So I am not in any way, shape, or form trained to be a professional wrestler. I have, if you watch CWF Worldwide, I've had some things happen to me, and I've done some things to other people. But so I, for a while, was training actually at the CWF dojo. But I never wanted to be a professional wrestler. I started as a manager even before I was doing the hostess thing at CWF. And I always said, I don't want to just be that girl that comes out and stands there and cheers and looks pretty. I want to get involved. I want to be able to do more. So that's why I started training. And that was actually Brad Stett's idea. So I started training and I actually loved it. I had so much fun. But unfortunately, some personal circumstances happened. And we ended up having to get custody of my boyfriend's daughter. So I kind of had to put that on the back burner now while we're going through all these kind of crazy times.
Hey, that's
but, I still would love to. And I try to learn something every show that I'm on. Even if I'm not technically being professionally trained anymore, I still consider myself a student or whatever where, I still would love to be able to do that one day.
Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to add her on Twitter. It's at CL Party. Check her out. She's on there almost every single week. We only got to see her twice tonight, which kind of upset me, given how you were dressed for that night. I want to ask you this '80s night thing. You guys in that building before. I mean, we're going to review the show here in just a little while, but I entered that building and I was like, okay, this is. I'm sitting there walking and I'm tripping up on blue mats, which is not common. And the ring is pushed back. There's no chairs in the front row, which is not common. Brad Stutz is in a tuxedo, which is definitely not common. You're dressed up like how you are, which is. You're dressed up normally very beautiful, but the extra makeup and everything is not common.
Was that a Madonna getup, by the way? I couldn't really tell tonight, but I saw the long gloves.
I was channeling a very specific picture I found of Missy Hyatt that I later found out was actually from the 90s and not the 80s. But I had that picture and I used that for inspiration. And so I was trying to go for like a Missy Hyatt, Miss Elizabeth hybrid.
Okay, you could see it. All right.
Mm-hmm. And then you look at Grant. Grant's in a blue Dickies jumpsuit, which is definitely not common for Grant because he's usually in athletic shorts and a baseball cap. What was the atmosphere there that night? I mean, as I was sitting there watching them get set up and everything right before cameras rolled, the referees, who are all dressed nice, took a picture with each other, which was really cool. But I want to know, you said backstage, you messaged me on Twitter, said backstage it was hectic. What was it like for, I guess you would say, the cast and crew that night?
Well, I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, it was chaos. It was one of the craziest experiences ever because, before the show was a lot of fun. We were taping things and all kinds of fun stuff. Like, it was really good energy. Everyone's really excited. And then we have the locker room meeting and the show's about to start in like 5 minutes. And I think Stutzy said to Grant, "Does Christy have a way of getting in the ring?" And I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Oh, you didn't see we moved the entrance ramp, so you can't just step into the ring like you normally do." And I said, "Oh, no, then I don't have a way of getting in the ring. I guess I can climb, but, I am in a dress." So we had about 5 minutes to figure out how I was going to get in and out of the ring. And we ended up just pushing a chair out there that I stepped on to get in. So that's why on the very first match you see in tonight's episode, I was in the ring. And then Grant, I guess, decided that it was taking too long to get in and out, so he told me just to do the introductions on the floor, and that's why a lot of my stuff was either like cut or you can just kind of hear me in the background because I was like standing behind him, trying not to step on cords, trying not to be in the shot because I didn't know where people were coming from. And everybody had different music too, so nobody really knew their cues. Like, I'd go back there and say, "Okay, do you know when you're coming out? Because I'm going to do your introduction." And they're like, "Nope." So it was kind of crazy, and everyone was coming from a different entrance, and like you said, there was like mats and cords and people everywhere, so it was definitely hectic. But obviously it didn't come across at the live show and it didn't come across on camera, so I mean, it all ended up being great. So
I will say, when I go to see you guys live, it's a well-oiled machine for the most part.
Definitely.
It doesn't, for all of you who think, "Oh, you're just going to see a wrestling show." No, you're actually you're going to see a production. You're going to see something that you don't get out of any other indie show, and I've preached that 1,000 times. CL, thank you so much for coming on here. It was a joy to have you. I look forward to seeing you on YouTube every week, and I'm looking forward to seeing you live. A couple things to plug here before we get off here. Modern Vintage Wrestling is going to be, I believe it is on the 3rd of June. You do some stuff for them too as well, correct?
Yes, Brad Stutz and I host the web episodes, and then I do some stuff on the live shows as well.
And if you go by the schedule that Grant put out, Modern Vintage Wrestling is actually going to be putting some stuff on CWF Worldwide, which I'm very much looking forward to, and I very much hope you're a part of. Anything else? The microphone is yours, as we like to say here. Plug anything you have coming up. Feel free. Go ahead.
No, you pretty much hit it. CWF and Modern Vintage. Like you said, in the past, I've been known to manage a few people in other companies, but right now, those are the two I'm mostly working for, and I'm so excited. I'm definitely excited for Modern Vintage to come to the Sportatorium, so I don't have to make that drive to Wilmington. But, so I'm so excited for those shows, and thank you so much for having me. I love listening to you guys every week.
Thank you so much for listening,
Thank you,
CO.
CO.
We're going to go ahead and hang up with you. Go get some sleep, okay?
All right.
Bye-bye.
Say good things about me.
We always do. Can't say a bad thing about you. There's nothing bad to say. We can't even think of anything. So, thank you, CO.
All right. Bye,
Bye-bye.
y'all.
That was the lovely CL party, ladies and gentlemen. Always a treat to see live in person. And
Give it up. Give it up.
it was a good interview, I thought. I thought we did very well. We actually went 20 minutes instead of 15.
Yeah, that was a very fast 20 minutes.
Very fast 20 minutes.
Yeah, very fast.
And so we got a little bit to talk about tonight.
We do. We do.
Don't sound too excited, Edwards.
No.
I'm a big fan of this episode tonight. I give this episode, to me, 8 out of 10. And the weeks that we've been doing this show presentation-wise, if you just look at the presentation, maybe not necessarily the wrestling on the show, but the presentation of it, just knocked it out of the park. It's probably one of my favorite episodes of WorldWide ever. If you go back and watch their Christmas episode from last year, it was tuned up a little bit more on the dial than this, but it was 80s night at the Sportatorium. As we mentioned, different setup, blue mats around the ring, Stutzy in a suit. For the YouTube thing, they put a filter, like a VHS old school filter over it. We had new.
Loved it.
Oh man, you had every wrestler coming out to an '80s theme. We even had an '80s style. I believe it was the old school WWF Superstars theme. I guess it was.
Yep. Superstars of Worldwide.
Yeah, it was Superstars
So,
of Worldwide, and the theme music that they played, I recognize it as being the song that constantly played on the WWF WrestleMania NES game when I was a kid. So,
Okay.
that's how
They
I
had
knew it.
the red, white, and blue ropes. You know, everything. I have a bunch of stuff written down, but I realized it was just, I could probably sum it up in one sentence. Grant Sawyer did a hell of a job putting this together with the commercials and the on-screen fonts, the graphics, the picture-in-picture promos during the matches. It was very well done. If you want to do a throwback show, it was done perfectly.
You know, WWE does their old school Raws. I think they pale in comparison to this.
Yeah, totally.
We started off with the Dirty Daddy and the Boogie Woogie Man, Rob McBride. This is the first time I take it you have ever seen Boogie Woogie Man, Rob McBride. And these two took on the tag team of Ethan Sharp and Dr. Dan Rockingham, who is always there to brighten your day there, Dr. Dan is. The first time you've seen Dr. Dan as well. I want to get your thoughts on this match first. What did you think of this one?
Well, firstly, you forgot to mention Coach.
Oh, the coach doing commentary, yes.
Commentary, yep. So that was really good too. It wasn't only Grant, and this is where I was going with this. If you're gonna do a throwback show like this, Grant did his part. The coach and Stutzy were doing, Daddy was in the wrong part of town. They're cutting the ring off in half. They were doing 80s references the whole time.
Oh yeah, I have a bunch of them written down here as they were saying them. That's why I didn't mention Coach on commentary yet. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I jumped ahead on
you're
you
fine.
there.
Go ahead.
Daddy hit an atomic drop, Joe. The airplane spin coming out of the sleeper hold. So everybody was doing their part in doing the show. The 80s superstars of Worldwide. The match was great. I loved the Boogie Woogie Man. First time I ever saw him, you're right. Dirty Daddy, we talked about him before. I'm a Dirty Daddy fan, I think. I'm becoming one. And Dr. Dan there, you got the the positive exercise, Richard Simmons references. He's got that whole gimmick working.
Yeah, more like a Tony Robbins, Richard Simmons type.
Yeah,
of
like
guy.
a life coach type of.
That's it.
Great. Another great opening match on a CWF Worldwide.
I would have liked to see Ethan Sharp doing a little bit more $1 Million Man. But if once they air his match with Sis that took place a couple weekends ago, last weekend, which I think we have to talk about here in a minute, but after we review this, because a lot of good stuff happened on that show. But I
He
would
did
like.
drop a fist drop.
He did do
Pretty
the
good
fist
$1
drop.
million man fist drop.
Yes, he did. Boogie Woogie Man Rob McBride. CWF was not the first place I saw him. I actually saw Rob McBride first in AIWF Mid Atlantic in North Carolina as well. They run Mount Airy a lot, the western side of North Carolina. Boogie Woogie Man was given the gimmick, the Boogie Woogie Man from the original Boogie Woogie Man from WWF. He comes out usually to the Manhattan Transfer song, Man from New York City.
Mm-hmm.
This week it was the Dukes of Hazzard theme.
and it fit, and he had the Dukes of Hazzard trunks.
Yeah,
generally
he almost always wears those.
fantastic.
We got to mention that Jane Fonda was recently in attendance at a Dr. Dan seminar.
yes, that's very important to note.
And they even mentioned that they were going to the China Club after the matches.
Mm-hmm.
So Rob McBride and Dirty Daddy win this one. It was a decent match. Nothing really big of mine sticks out of me. I'm not going to be poking holes as much as we usually do because it's 80s night. It's not designed to be perfect. They did carry on a story here, their usual storylines here, kind of, but I'm not going to be a Dave Meltzer here and poke holes and everything. It was a match, and it was good. It was entertaining.
Sure. And they had AC's hard cam featured in this match as well.
Yes, they did. They had AC's hard cam featured a lot throughout the whole show.
Yep.
Reps wearing old school ring gear, blue shirts, black bow ties, black slacks.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful.
Loved it.
And they even, if you noticed at one point, they even, instead of just calling it CWF, they even did another old school thing where it wasn't just WWF back in the day. Vince would say, he's the greatest man in the World Wrestling Federation. It's not the greatest wrestler today. It's the greatest wrestler or the greatest superstar in the World Wrestling Federation. I think this is the first time in quite a while that they've actually told you what CWF stands for, because it's the Carolina Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, it kind of threw me off when he said it, and I was like, "No, wait, that's CWF. You're good. Relax, Edwards. You're good." But it did throw me off just for that split second when he said it.
So then we cut after this match, very good match here, and the Dirty Daddy goes, "I may be old, I may be fat, but I can still boogie woogie."
Right.
And they had to cut in promo, talking about, man, I've known you since Penn State. And Dirty Daddy once again has to correct Rob McBride and go, that wasn't Penn State, that was the state Penn. And he marches off. And it was funny because this harkens back to, this is kind of Rob McBride's character now. Because before Battlecade last year, he cut a promo, you blinded me, and now I'm coming back to face you at Starcade. And somebody in the background goes, Battlecade. He goes, Battlecade.
Nice. That's funny stuff.
It is.
I
honestly, I wish would see more of that from Rob McBride. And I like the idea of him and Dirty Daddy being a tag team. Honestly, I like Dirty Daddy and Rob McBride more than I like Showtime right now. Because to me, I like Dirty Daddy when he is the Dirty Daddy character. That old school promoter who slept with an NWA promoter's wife and is now in the Mid-Atlantic. I'm not a huge fan of Showtime Dirty Daddy. There is a big difference there.
Gotcha.
We then had the man.
And this was great.
The man himself. Oh, man. Robbie Walsh with a news update from the update desk. Robbie Walsh in a suit, looking really, really good tonight. What did you take away from this news segment here?
Well, the big thing is this Robbie Walsh. Wow, it seems like, and I was going to save this for, he talked to the Ace, right? Towards the end of the show.
Towards the end, yeah.
And he did a phenomenal job in that spot too. But he reminds me kind of like a Jeremy Borash. Like he can do ring announcing, he can do announcing, he can do the backstage interview. He's got the facial expressions. He's kind of like an all-star. Boy, oh boy, this guy is, I don't know. He knows what he's doing, man. He knows what he's doing. It's obvious. But the big thing about this segment was, and I always complain about this on the big shows. You've heard me say it. Alex Daniels cuts the promo, and it was a hook for the show because after it was over, they announced that they would await for Trevor Lee's response. So that's a hook for the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's that simple to do. CWF is doing this stuff. Why can't everybody else? I thought it was a tremendous job.
They get to the Alex Daniels. This is the first time maybe the first time you've seen Alex Daniels.
It is, yes.
What did Alex Daniels with the Fight Club poster? It looked like he. I'll be real here. It looks like he was recording this in his mom's basement, but it was awesome. You had the Fight Club poster. Alex Daniels' big thing is like he thinks he's the Ben Affleck of wrestling.
Okay.
And he actually sounded like Ben Affleck in parts of this promo and looked like Ben Affleck in parts of this promo. I thought it was a very damn good promo here by Alex Daniels. And we'll glance on it later, but if you compare this to the Trevor Lee promo later on in the show, got to give the one-upsmanship here to Alex Daniels.
I agree. I was wondering if you would have said that or not, but you just said it. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I got to go against my boy Trevor Lee on this one. Alex Daniels took him to school with this promo, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty good.
And then we had the Juicy Fruit. It's going to move you.
Loved it.
Loved it. That's right. That's my childhood right there, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we got
and then the Mr. T cereal.
It's cool, Daddy. I like every
Great
time.
picks.
Oh, man. I didn't even know there was a such thing as a Mr. T cereal.
Oh, I remember it, White. See, that's the difference. We're a couple ages, a couple years apart there. Yep.
I mean, I remember the Juicy Fruit thing, but I never Mr. T cereal. It's cool.
Yep.
You got Mr. T in there. And then we moved on to Donnie Dollars versus. This guy's name is like Great Balls of Fire. I can't see him or mention his name without laughing.
I think it's funny.
You do it, Jeff.
Young Man Cool J.
No disrespect to Cool J, because he's a lot better than I am for getting in that damn ring and actually wrestling and then going through school and everything. But the guy can't even, like, if you were to do the whole thing where you tell you've probably done this with your boy. You have him stand up against a wall, put your hand up there on the top of his head, the height chart thing. Mm-hmm. If you were to tell him, stand up against the turnbuckles, I'm going to do that, he maybe would be just tall enough to stand over the top turnbuckle.
Yes. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe the size of this guy. But, again, Coach with the references, he hit the, ring those bells and Mama said knock you out. He was doing, the LL Cool J stuff. The one thing I wanted to ask you, White, the finisher. Oof. First time I'm seeing Donnie Dollars. Boy, oh boy, I thought he broke his neck, man. Young Man Cool J. I thought he was dead.
And what was so great was not only the finisher, but the big move before the finisher. We thought that was the finish. He wiped that boy out.
My goodness.
I went into this match when they announced Donnie, and I'm sitting there live, and I'm a Donnie Dollars fan, and I'm sitting there going, Donnie, easy money, Dollars, easy money. Cool J gets killed. And the referee, Mr. Charles, who isn't there for every show, but when Mr. Charles does ref, they called him the Don Juan of pro wrestling. It was beautiful. And I wrote down here, this came off like a 1980 style WWE or WWF enhancement match.
Absolutely. Yep. Totally.
And I don't know whether it was Grant or Coach. They hit the finish, and like you said, Cool J gets killed, right? Mm-hmm. You could hear somebody in the background laughing their ass off. I don't know if it was Grant or the Coach. I couldn't tell. One of them was laughing at that finish, and everybody in the building was, because I honestly thought Cool J, I was like, they just legitimately fucking hurt this dude.
Yes.
It was brutal. Anything else about this match here?
The only other thing I've jotted down, I didn't notice it after the first match, but it doesn't mean it didn't happen. But they announced the match time. Do they always do that at CWF, or was that for 80s Night here?
Every single match gets its time announced in CWF.
All right, well, that's beautiful. So, okay.
Every single match gets its time
I haven't noticed
announced.
it up until that point.
So then we got to Are you going to take your kid, Jeff, to see the Muppet Babies live?
I would have. I wish my parents took me.
I know, right?
Right.
I used to watch Muppet Babies on Nickelodeon when I was a kid, and I'm just like, man, I wanted to go see the Muppet Babies. You had Kermit appearing there, for crying out loud.
See, White, the beauty of this is Muppet Babies Saturday morning. It was right in that section that I used to watch as a kid,
And then we had the Von Erichs making a special appearance here. I had seen this commercial before. For those who don't know, I'm going to get into a little bit of non-wrestling here, and people are going to be like, who the fuck cares, White? But I love Pizza Inn. There's actually a Pizza Inn in Durham, North Carolina that I frequent quite a bit whenever I can. I love me some Pizza Inn. It's like, I don't know if you guys have like CC's Pizza up north.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's literally CC's Pizza, but better. Way better. Pizza Inn is the shit. I'm sorry. I love me some Pizza Inn. And the Von Erichs, Pizza Inn originally started in Dallas, Texas. And the Von Erichs did a slew of commercials for them. One of them was if you came in and got such and such buffets, they would give you a Von Erichs trading card, or they would give you I think one of them was a Fritz Von Erich telephone they even had for these people. So that's where this commercial comes from. CC's, Grant goes, CC's is complete garbage, especially compared to pizza. CC's is like Vienna sausages of pizza. It's pizza that you feed 2-year-olds that just don't know no better.
Okay. Gotcha.
But Pizza Inn, dude, is awesome. But we had go ahead.
I never heard of Pizza Inn, and I got to say this kind of tug at the heartstrings a little bit, seeing the Von Erichs.
That was good, seeing all three brothers right there, Kevin, Carrie, and David.
Yep.
And it was really good with the and then Carrie's like, oh shit, yeah. So for Pizza Hut, it's Pizza Inn, yeah. So my boy Keith Mack from Richmond, Virginia, was up next facing the real Joshua Cutshaw. Keith Mack coming out to jump on it. And my son got on camera here very prominently. He reached his hand out for Keith Mack, and Keith Mack no-sold him.
I
was like, holy shit,
poor little Joe.
That's little Joe. This is little Joe pre-stitches, so no stitches in his
right,
head. But,
right, exactly.
Little Joe stuck his hand out, and Keith Mack decided just to dance, and while he was dancing, my son's like, well, screw you, and just went and sat back down. And then they didn't, I don't know if they showed it or not, but you had the referee Red. And obviously they call him Red because he's got the long red hair. Mm-hmm. And so, Keith Mack is in the ring doing the whole classic, dance, jump on it. And everybody's like, come on. I think I started it. I yelled out, do it, Red, do it. And I don't think they showed it on camera, but Red actually did the dance and did the spin with the jump on it. It was great.
That's pretty good.
Your thoughts on Keith Mack versus the real Joshua Cutshaw?
We got a Danny Bonaducci reference in reference to Red. So
this was not Red. This was Danny Bonaducci as the ref.
That was funny as hell. They did another I keep saying picture in picture, but the cut in, whatever you want to call it, of Joshua Cutshaw. So that was good. I don't know what to say about this match, Joe. I didn't think it was anything to write home about. Do you think Cutshaw is kind of, I don't know. I know what he's going for, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
I will say the one thing that stood out to me with this match, we got the JYD stuff. It was very much an 80s match. This reminded me of a match that you would see on Superstars back in the day. When they were doing this classic goofy stuff. We got Dance Fever references. That Keith Mack is going to appear on Dance Fever, and that they were going out to studio instead of the China Club. Now they're now going out to Studio 54.
Studio 54, yes.
I think I like the promo, the pop-up promo from Cutshaw better than I like the match. The promo was really good. But yeah, it was your classic. They had a dance-off thing where they Cutshaw actually did the jump on it, and then he decked him in the face, which was really nice.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good spot.
I mean, WWE does it. I look at it this way. if WWE were to do something like this nowadays, people would groan and be like, "Oh, there's Vince trying to make movies again."
Oh, totally. Yeah, totally.
So I mean, you kind of in today's context, it wouldn't work. But if it's a classic '80s style episode, the comedy kind of works. So,
Yep.
as for the match itself, I mean, if I like Keith Mack, I like the gimmick. It's not the first time I see him, but they announced. I think this was the pay-per-view where they announced, or the pay-per-view, the show where they announced that Joshua Cutshaw would be taking on Eric Andrews at the next show. That match, unfortunately, wouldn't happen because I believe Joshua Cutshaw had an injury and couldn't make it, so that match would not happen. We got a different match instead, which I won't really spoil for you now. Any other thoughts about this one before we move on?
I actually wouldn't have mind seeing that matchup, Cutshaw and Andrews.
It's a heel versus heel match, and I hope we do get it down the line because I think it's going to be awesome. You got two guys who kind of look alike, and their body
they're kind of
types
similar.
alike.
Yep.
Their styles are almost alike.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like looking in the mirror. Cutshaw as Eric Andrews, only more crazy.
Right.
So,
right.
we got a Cecil Scott promo here on Kane Justice talking about their upcoming match at Madness in Any Direction, which is coming up here in about maybe 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
All right. Give me some background on Cecil here because I'm getting, and tell me if I'm way off. Explain it, but I'm getting the impression of like a Steve Corino who's an announcer mainly, but if called out, he'll go fight. Is that what this is?
Very much so, Steve.
Okay.
Cecil. Last year was his he had a gimmick where he had a running gimmick where he was in the Royal Rumble or in their CWF Rumble, but he always got eliminated. So last year he said, if I'm tossed out of this Rumble, I'm never going to be in another Rumble again, and I'll stay behind the announcer's booth. And he stayed behind the announcer's booth so far. He'll pop up every now and then when they need like a comedy match because, hey, it's Cecil the announcer getting in there. I have never even seen Cecil wrestle that much. He's always been a commentator since I've been going there the last couple of years. Okay. They did an angle where Kane Justice snapped one day. Cecil's arm was already in a cast, and he attacked Cecil and put him in the twist ending. And so now Cecil and Kane Justice are going to have a match. It's the old announcer versus the new guy, the new young blue chipper, and Kane Justice. So, and I thought it was a pretty decent promo. Went a little bit long. But
yeah, a little bit long.
It was decent. Mm-hmm. Anything else on the promo before we move on?
When is that match happening?
That match is at Madness in Any Direction, which the schedule is they're doing the Saturday night CWF. They're doing the 2 shows from Chapel Hill. And then I think they're going to Madness in Any Direction, or they may be going to the Modern Vintage shows. I don't know, but it's probably going to be about another month before you see that match. And it was I was there live, and it was a pretty decent match, actually. It was very good. Told a good story.
Okay, cool.
Hold on here.
Yep.
I swear to God, I get paid this Friday, and I'm buying me new XLR cables and a new microphone.
Yeah, and get a microphone for Robert, too, when he comes.
Well, the problem is I have a microphone. It's just the XLR cable. Well, actually, the microphone doesn't work, so I need cables and a new microphone. So I will definitely get one for him. Cecil and Kane airs on June 14th.
June 14th. Yeah. Okay.
So not a little bit less than a month away. And then we had, I'm sorry, a lot of people trashed this movie.
I knew you were going to love this
movie, I love this movie. This is one of my favorite fucking movies ever. It's Howard the Duck.
I'm one of the guys that trash it, Joe.
Oh, man, it's good. Especially at the end when he's playing the fucking guitar, man. I thought you'd appreciate a duck playing a guitar. You of all people. But, and Leah Thompson, man. She didn't do too much, but Leah Thompson is hot in that movie.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But
I'll give you that.
You got Howard the Duck coming to a theater near you. George Lucas's Howard the Duck coming to a theater near you. And then we got the Macho Man plugging the old J in action figures.
Oh, yeah.
Dig it. No Slim Jim commercial in this. I would have liked to see a Slim Jim commercial somewhere in there, but the old LJN figures will do just fine because those things are made out of rubber, and people didn't play with those things. Well, you played with them to a certain extent, but you saved them. Those motherfuckers were grenades when you got pissed at your little brother all the way across the room and nailed him right in the head with it because them things were made out of solid, thick-ass rubber, and they hurt like a mother when you got hit with one. Or when your mother would come in the room and she'd step on one, God damn it, I told you to pick up your room, and she'd start throwing them at you. So
Yeah.
anyway,
You must have had it rough, Joe.
I did. Anyway, then we had the
Anyway.
Dawson brothers.
Mm-hmm.
The damn Dawsons took on PB Smooth and Colby Red. I'll let you go first on this one because I have a little bit to say about this.
Okay. First full match that I saw the Dawson brothers. I like them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how far you want to, with the spoilers and all, but I'll say this. I think I wouldn't mind seeing them in, the tag championship. That said, Colby Red and PB Smooth. Tell me about PB Smooth. This dude is huge and fast and huge and huge and huge for days.
He is 7 foot tall.
I do not think he's going to be on the indies for very long, Joe.
I haven't seen too much of this guy, to be honest with you. And when it is, it's in enhancement matches like this, because this was an enhancement match. But the little spots that I can't say much for Colby Red. This is the first time I've seen him.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been a handicap match for all I care. And that's not a bad thing about Colby Red. It's just I need to see more of him. But I have seen PB Smooth a couple of times prior to this. And, PB Smooth, when they gave him that spot, when he had that one spot with the back elbow off the corner and everything, and he got all fired up, he was good. They let him shine a little bit. The rest of the match, he's got potential, but you can tell he's got a long way to go.
Oh, totally. But I mean, I've never seen anything. I'm assuming that guy had to be a basketball player. He's got the basketball build. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I mean, geez, he's something. You don't see that every day.
Dawson, you had we had the coach going. The music that they came out to is this new jazz hippity hoppity music. I kind of like it.
Yeah, that was good too. Yeah, that was good.
And I missed a bit of this match, and I really couldn't pay attention to this match live. So I'm glad that I was able to see it here on tape. Because constantly, and it even came across on tape, there was this little girl in the crowd who would constantly fucking booing and making a loud, high-pitched booing noise. Like, I badly wanted... Like, if me and Robert were there, we would have started chanting, "Shut the fuck up," at this little girl. That's how annoying she was. Or at least, "Please shut up."
Yeah, White, come on. You wouldn't kill the girl, would you?
No. But I'd at least suggest her parents put a muzzle on the fucking kid. Anyway. You're a heel tonight, White. I'm being a heel tonight. I was a heel that night, too. My girlfriend is even looking over like, really? while this match is going on.
There was one classic spot in the match that I did have written down. They just did the typical, the Dawson heel distracting the ref, and he missed the tag. He missed the faces tag. So, White, you know how I am. When I see shit like that, I mark out for it. That's right. I put here the Dawson's pop-in promo that they had, the picture-in-picture promo. Mm-hmm. Classic LOD style promo. I thought was very, very good. Zane is a really good promo. Dave has a little bit to go, but Zane really carried the promo, and he carried it to really good heights, I thought. I put here PB Smooth has a lot of potential, and when he gets in a rhythm and gets going, he has decent timing. I thought his timing during that one spot that we mentioned, very well done, but he has a lot to go. Yeah. And then I have written down here, there's no Young Bucks on the show tonight, which I was very happy about. Thank you, Grant. They don't belong on Superstars. No, they don't. Worldwide. Because they're not superstars. Anyway. Well, they're not. We'll save that for another day. Trevor Lee promo next. They actually aired this promo and actually put it up on YouTube a couple days before the match with Alex Daniels at 80s Night. So I had already seen it. And I just have here decent promo. Thought Daniels was better. That's what I have here. Any thoughts on this promo? The only thing I jotted down was this is the hook that I mentioned earlier. The champion is finally speaking after, almost 40 minutes or whatever it was. So, good job there. You know what I have to say about this promo? Exactly what the old women were saying in the next commercial. Where's the beef? We got to know where's the beef promo ad after this. Classic Wendy's ad there. Jim Cornette would be proud. And then we got
Andre the Giant plugging honeycomb. where he jumps into a treehouse, eats some honeycomb, jumps out of the treehouse onto a seesaw, and boosts a robot up into the air.
Phenomenal.
Oh man, I love Andre. My kid now, he downloaded that WWE Champions game, which is kind of like Bejeweled with wrestling, you know?
Yeah, I saw it
And
advertised. Yeah.
they gave away Andre the Giant as one of the characters. Ever since then, my kid has been obsessed with Andre the Giant. Like, they aired a promo. They do this thing in our local movie theater called Flashback Cinema, where every Monday and Wednesday they air classic movies. Dirty Dancing was one of them. Actually, I have recorded the Dirty Dancing New Age musical that came on tonight. I'm going to watch it and see if it's any
sacrilege,
good.
White. You
It
can't
is,
watch that.
I know, but they did a good job with Grease on Fox. But, and Grease is my favorite movie of all time. So it's hard to say that. It's hard for me to say that. What? Hey, dude, don't.
Nothing.
Okay.
Just keep going.
No. We can't let this go, goddammit. Grease is Grease is the shit, dude, okay?
Why, of all time?
Dude, it's my favorite movie. I'll put it to you this way. It has sentimental value for me because when I was little, my aunt used to watch this. And
Okay.
my uncle had the soundtrack on old school 45 records. And as a kid, we had no internet. We had no computers, cell phones. And if it's raining outside, you can't go outside and play. What do? Me and my cousin Charlie and my cousin Robbie and my brother, we would fucking put on the damn Grease 45 and start dancing in the living room to the music. So, Grease is awesome. I don't care what anybody says. And,
You just better stop there,
and
White. Don't dig yourself a hole here.
AC talks about Finn Balor popping his collar. Nobody popped a collar like John fucking Travolta.
Well,
okay?
that I'll agree with you on. Yes.
Anyway,
Getting back out of here.
getting back out of here. But anyway, my son, you know, they did the thing for the Flashback Cinema, and The Princess Bride is one of the movies that they're showing. And they showed one of the Andre scenes. And my son, this is when we're going to see Guardians of the Galaxy, so he's already excited to go see Baby Groot and all that. My son sees Andre, and he jumps up in his chair and goes, "Dad, it's Andre! It's Andre!" I could not have been more proud.
That's awesome. That's awesome. When you started talking, I was going to say, did he see that movie yet? But
No, he hasn't seen the movie yet, but he knows who Andre is, and that's
okay.
That's important to me because I was a huge Andre mark as a kid.
Cool.
So then we had Snooty Fox versus the Blue Devil.
Yes. Squash match.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Snooty Fox still. I can't. The dude they got to put a mic in his hand first, and he's total John Cena babyface at this point to me.
Yeah, he's kind of that guy. And I think he's getting that response from the crowd, and I think it has to be hard to do to be that guy.
He got booed here by Bruce Mitchell because you had Snooty's from Chapel Hill, and we're plugging the Chapel Hill shows. He's putting on $1,000 that he won last year in Chapel Hill versus Coach Gemini's $1,000, and he's facing Roy Wilkins in the main event of that Chapel Hill show. It's called Double or Nothing. It's going to be airing here in a few weeks. I haven't seen the match because I wasn't there live, but Bruce Mitchell of the Pro Wrestling Torch is in the crowd. And Bruce normally is like I am. He'll sit there and analyze the matches. He'll clap when, at the end of the matches, and he doesn't say too much. Bruce Mitchell came unglued during this match because Bruce Mitchell is a huge Duke fan.
Oh, okay.
So when Snooty came out there, he was actually booing Snooty and chanting for the Blue Devil. And that's why they made the reference at the end of the match. Bruce Mitchell didn't like that one. So.
Okay, gotcha.
But it was a total squash match, typical Snooty Fox match. I can't really say too much about it.
Yeah, I don't mind him so far, but yeah, like you said earlier, there was a squash match on it. It reminded you of an old squash match that you'd see on Superstars, and this was another one.
And I think they mentioned something about the Clintons, and
I heard him say that, but I didn't catch the wine.
He mentioned something about the Clintons, and Brad goes, "Who?" And Coach goes, "Some new politician I met. I don't know." And then we got a promo 11:30 this Saturday night. It's Saturday night CWF. We got more Robbie Walsh here.
Yes.
Robbie, once again, whether he's refereeing or doing this shit, he needs to do more of this because he's better than half of those pin-up bimbos that they have that look like cookie cutters up there in New York who
Yeah.
can't cut a backstage promo with a wrestler to save their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Which
That's
may-
what I'm talking about. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
they look like robots up there. My guest at this time is this. So this. What about this? Okay, back to you.
Yep.
We got so much more than this. Robbie Walsh was actually interacting with Eric Royal and feeding Eric Royal, to a certain extent. And if those people are, if they're those who are asking right now, tentatively, I'm in for it. I don't know if Jeff's in, but at 12:30, or 1 o'clock, because it goes an hour and a half, 1 a.m. this Saturday. So technically, it's Sunday morning at 1 a.m. We will be doing a CWF after show for Saturday night CWF. I believe so. So they do the thing talking about the All-Stars match in Chapel Hill and how Eric Royal is banned from rings. I believe it was the Chapel Hill match they were discussing. And Eric Royal is banned from the match this Saturday, they said. And I put here, only Eric Royal promo is very good. Facial expressions were good. I liked how he kept popping back into the shot. Just when you thought it was over, he kept popping back in. And I put Robbie Walsh is a very good interviewer, better than those in WWE.
Absolutely. It's one of those, and not to mention CL. We just had CL on the show. She's another one. There's more talent here. Joe, this is why I love this company so far. I mean, when you watch Raw and SmackDown and you see that whole, like you said, it's cookie cutter. At one point, Eric stopped talking and Robbie took it, and he was about to go ahead and sign off or whatever, and Eric interrupted him. And Robbie made this face like, oh, like, go ahead, if you're not done, keep going, and it was like, that's beautiful. Like, that's realism. You know what I mean? It's not just you're up there going, okay, back to you. Exactly. Mm-hmm. He adds something to the show. It just because it's a spot that, people treat it like it's a spot that has no meaning. It's a backstage, whatever, hype promo, whatever you want to call it. Well, that's how it should be treated. Like Robbie Walsh is treating it. I don't understand. But phenomenal job by him once again, and of course Eric Royal. I'm getting into Royal.
I like how he goes. I can't be there. I'm not going to be there anyway because I got other business I'm taking care of.
Yeah.
It's like I was taking care of Horseman business. I got All-Star business to take care of.
Right. Exactly. Yes, Joe.
The thing that
damn it, loving CWF.
The thing I get from this match now, though, that I didn't quite get before, and maybe this is not the direction they're trying to get in. I think Eric Royal now is an official All-Star. He's a member of that faction Full Force, I think. That's the impression I got from here. And another thing, he mentioned Trevor Lee and how he's coming back for that title. CWF is establishing that Trevor Lee, as long as he carries that belt, and we'll get to it here in a minute, but even in Nick Richards' case, before Trevor Lee had the belt, Trevor Lee is the shit in this company. He's the guy in this company. Whether he holds that belt or not, more so when he does hold it, he's got a target on his back. And everybody is gunning for Trevor Lee in this promotion. Because Eric Royal mentioned him. He was very peppered in throughout this show. And people always says, oh, it's Raw's better or Raw SmackDown's better when John Cena isn't on it. Well, we didn't really have a Trevor Lee match here. We saw Trevor Lee of all of maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and the show was damn good,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Any other thoughts on the Eric Royal promo?
No, that's about it, but I like how you said he's taking care of All-Star business like the Horseman business. Yes. Mm-hmm. Very cool.
I just looked down, and that's actually my phone that's been going off the whole time. Sorry, folks. And then we got the...
Yeah, mine's been blowing up, too.
Twitter, man. We're
this whole CWF thing. People are into it.
And we thank you guys so much for listening.
Yes, absolutely. I not to change subjects here, but 10 minutes ago, CL tweeted some pictures, and I think these are what you're talking about.
Yeah,
these golf pictures.
To a certain extent, yeah.
Yeah, Joe.
That's good stuff. Anyway.
No, it's great stuff.
It's great stuff.
It's great stuff. Go ahead.
John Miller goes, have mercy, quit teasing us.
Oh man.
Yes, those are the pictures I'm speaking of.
Are we doing a show? What's going on?
Show, yeah.
I'm staring at my phone.
Worldwide, yeah, worldwide. CL party.
See, I'll stop. Wait until we're
CL
off air to do
Party was on the show tonight, folks. For those who are just tuning in, and she's very much treated us to some pins. Anyway, we then had the. I'm laughing already because kids today have no idea about 900 numbers. We have one,
Oh no, this was fantastic right here.
This I would have liked it better if we saw CWF, if we saw maybe Robbie in the background calling out the CWF hotline, you know, something like that. But no, it's the Corey Feldman and Corey Heyman 1-900-909-3700. And if you dial that number now, folks, you'll probably get something your parents don't want you to listen to. But if you dialed it back in the 80s, it was, we'll give you our real life phone numbers, and then you can call us and chat. I'm sitting there going, really? Did people call really expecting to get Corey Feldman's fucking phone number?
People really did, yes.
I had never seen this before. This was the first time I seen it. I've seen other 900 stuff, and you still see 900 stuff, but now it's for like live love or whatever it is.
Right.
Adam and Eve, whatever, at 2 a.m. in the morning. But that was the only commercial I think we got here, wasn't it? That's the only one I ever.
That's the only one I haven't marked down. Yep.
Then we had Nick Richards coming out to Danger Zone, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't have much to say about this match because it was a decent match here. He was taking out Otto Schwanz, which I'm a huge Otto Schwanz mark. It's a classic Nick Richards match. It very well, I think, and again, it's a match to showcase Nick Richards more and more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving me some Nick Richards. I think Otto Schwanz came off damn good in this match too as a heel. And I like the comment from Brad going, me and my wife, we're going to start jogging. Or I forget the actual joke, but he's like, me and my wife, we're going to start jogging. Or maybe it's jogging or something with a soft J or something like that. I'm sitting there going, that's so out of place, Brad. You know another thing we didn't get so much on this show that I liked?
What's that?
Not once did we hear, oh, at all during this show.
No, he gave us an oh dear.
Oh,
At
dear.
one point, I heard it. I heard an oh dear. Yes.
But damn this microphone. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't get too much screaming, you know, and even like he posted something on Twitter and he goes, I think I said, oh God, that gets a times 3 on the Stutzy oh God meter, and I just replied and tagged you, and I was like, ah.
Yeah, I saw it.
So, really good match. We got more CL Party. Again,
Mm-hmm.
CL Party is just
Always a good thing.
Oh, yeah. And
It's always party time.
it's always a party when we have CL on our screens. You know, classic Nick Richards promo. Everybody wondering when Nick Richards is going to cash in that title shot that he earned by winning the Weaver Cup tournament. And he said, I'm getting tired of waiting. And for those who don't know, he's going to get that shot. I want to say that is on June 24th at Absolute Justice. That is the main event for that show, is Nick Richards versus Trevor Lee at Absolute Justice. So that match is going to happen. Good promo by Nick. This is probably the strongest promo I've ever seen from him since he's turned babyface. Go back and watch the shit when he was heel if you want to see a damn good promo. But like we said before, it's always harder to be a babyface than a heel.
Mm-hmm.
I thought did a damn good job here. CL does a good job at always. Your thoughts here on the match and the promo after?
Good match. I'm coming around to Nick more and more the more I see him. And the thing that I like about the promo the most is, and you said it earlier, everybody's gunning for Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
So in one episode, you have two people that are obviously, gunning for that title and gunning for Trevor. So I like that,
3 if you count Eric
putting
Royal.
emphasis on the title,
I mean, 3 people if you count Eric Royal saying he's going to get the belt.
Well, yeah,
back
that's
eventually.
true. Yep.
So, a huge target painted on the back of Trevor Lee there. The
Yes.
Carolina Caveman's days, I think, are numbered. But then we got the classic. Tune in at 11:30. Check your local listings, Jeff. Pick up that old TV guide. Check your local listings.
I will.
Because
I'll pick it up.
this Saturday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern on their YouTube channel, it's Saturday Night CWF. I'm telling you, the second half of this taping, and then you don't want to be too sleepy or drunk when you watch this damn match Saturday night between Trevor and Alex. I want to say, and this may be something to share a little bit more on, this was the match that beforehand Trevor tweeted out, "Come see me tonight. I'm sick as a dog. You actually might see me shit myself in the ring," or something to that effect.
Oh, that's this one.
That's
okay,
this
gotcha.
one, and it's going to surprise everybody because he may be sick, but Trevor Lee pulls out at least another 4-star match next week. Alex Daniels really shines next week, too. I want to see more Alex Daniels in CWF, quite frankly, after this one.
Did you catch the copyright?
Yeah, the copy. What was the copyright, actually? I didn't
1987.
87.
Copyright 1987. And whatever it was, like, it would have said Titan Sports, but it
CWF
said...
Mid-Atlantic, I think it was, or whatever.
Okay, all right, yeah. That was pretty good, too. Good way to close it.
Can we get into some spoilers here from last weekend?
That's up to you. I mean, people are listening. I don't know if you want to do that or not. Maybe give them the warning, the turn-off warning.
Yeah, go ahead and turn off now if you don't want any spoilers from Madness in any direction, which took place this past Saturday at the Sportatorium. I loved how, another thing, getting back to 80s Night, coming to you live from Gibsonville, and they had like the sign in Gibsonville that we drive by every time on the way there. There's this home of football player such and such or whatever. And they painted, like they shot a picture of the town square. Gibsonville, for all intents and purposes, folks, is like Amelia County, Virginia. It's another pimple on God's ass.
Right, gotcha.
But hey, I like the Sportatorium, so I'm not going to trash Gibsonville too much. At least they have more than one stoplight, unlike Amelia. So this past week from Madness in Any Direction, the Dirty Daddy and Snooty Fox, they took on your man, the Movie Maker.
Oh, yeah, the filmmaker, baby.
Movie Mike and Timmy Danger. They teamed those two up, and they listened to us. Thank you. Thank you for listening to us, because the manager came out with a slate, and the ring CL party was trying to announce him, and she was ring announcing him. Cut, 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 cut. Do it over, but add this. Cut. He would hit the slate, and action. It was beautiful. Thank you so much for listening to me. I'm taking credit on that one because I said they should do it, and they damn sure did it.
Well, he had it in the original promo.
He had it in the original promo, but man, it was so good. I was laughing my ass off, and I'm sitting there looking over at my girl going, Jeff is going to mark out so hard.
I can't wait to see it.
And this is the first time I saw Timmy Danger live since his old GXW days. He's improved quite a bit since GXW. Sis and Ethan Alexander Sharp. It's the first ever man versus woman match on WorldWide. I put it on Twitter. Why they did not have Andy Kaufman's theme, the they should have had that playing when Sharp came out, because Sharp came out in the black shorts, the long john underwear, the elbow pads. He looked just like Andy Kaufman here. Even had a shirt on that said World Women's Wrestling Champion on. He played the gimmick to the nines, and this, where I put on Twitter after the event, Sis needs to be given a microphone now after this match. And then they had Brad Attitude interrupt a promo with Nick Richards. I won't go into the promo because it was damn good. We got to see the Carnies and Kevin Koo with Donnie Dollars. Some more Donnie Dollars coming your way. And more of the Carnies, Nick Iggy and Carrie Awful coming your way here. Rising Generation League Champion, Kane Justice versus Cecil Scott took place. Again, we're not going to give away too many spoilers. I'll just run down the matches here. We had a Coach Gemini and All-Stars promo, and then we had the Sandwich Squad facing The Culture, which is James Ryan and Cam Carter. And the story here was that the Sandwich Squad had, of course, we went over that the Sandwich Squad has lost their belts. They're no longer CWF Tag Team Champions. That is now the Dawsons. The Dawsons have those prestigious titles. I like this match, though, between the Sandwich Squad and the Culture because Sandwich Squad shows a whole new side of themselves in this match. I'm not going to say they're heel, but they definitely show more character here than ever before. You could tell that they're, no pun intended, hungry, and that they want those belts back.
That's interesting.
Zane and Dave Dawson came out and they faced Juke Joint Lucas Calhoun and I'm gonna butcher this, the Proletariat Boar of Moldova, who are two guys from Shikara. I've seen the Boar in action before. Lucas Calhoun, think Honky Tonk Man. So
Really?
Yeah, and it was good. I liked it.
Okay.
Chet Sterling was there against Logan Easton LaRue from Nova Pro. Let me tell you something about this. Oh, I'm going to tell you right now. I want to see more Logan Easton LaRue on my YouTube channel. I don't care if I got to go to CWF to find it. I need more Logan Easton LaRue matches because this guy has the look. He's got a damn six-pack. As far as abs go, he's got a good promo. He's got good in-ring work. He totally, to me, in my opinion, totally overshadowed Chet Sterling in this match. And once you see Logan Easton LaRue, you're going to mark out for him, Jeff. I'm telling you. He's a damn good heel, and I want to see more of him. And then we had Eric Andrews. I will give away this one because Joshua Cutsall could not appear due to injury. So we got Eric Andrews versus handsome Mitch Connor. Mitch Connor here looked damn good. Damn good in this. And then Trevor Lee, I won't spoil the surprise, but I will say that we got Trevor Lee and a mystery partner versus the All-Stars. So we'll leave it at that. And damn good show as always this past Saturday. Of course, you can catch it on YouTube here in a few weeks, but I encourage everybody that is listening to this, come out of your way, go out of your way. They have people that come from as far as Pennsylvania and Georgia and Florida to see CWF Mid-Atlantic. We encourage each and every one of you to please book buy your tickets and drive down, up, wherever you got to come from to see a show live at that Sportatorium. It was hotter than hell in that building this past Tuesday. It's a building that's usually hot as hell in the summer and cold as a well digger's ass in the winter. So it's a very old school feel in that building. I love it. It's probably my favorite building to go watch wrestling in. So anything else, Jeff, here before we sign off here?
Just like I said at the top of the show, kudos to Grant, I'm going to assume, for putting this together the way he did. I think it was perfectly done. It was for being an 80s throwback show. So kudos.
To me, I thought this was probably one of the best episodes of WorldWide. It's definitely in the top 5 for me. Their Christmas episode was also very, very good because if you go back and watch the Christmas episode, White Mike Jordan is on that, and he comes out to "I'm dreaming of a white Christmas." It's so good, and I think he faced Richards in a street fight. So you can just imagine the hilarity there. But anything else before we sign off here?
Nope.
All right, folks, that's going to wrap it up here. We've done a little bit over an hour. It's coming out to you Saturday. See that we will be doing a show at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's going to be fun.
Yes, join us. Please join us.
Please join us. Yeah. I don't know how awake we'll be, but we'll definitely be here. It's not like it's the first time we've spent the whole 1 o'clock in the morning chatting with each other about wrestling, though.
No, it's not. Won't be the last either.
Hell, WrestleMania, we went to me and AC went to 5:30 in the morning. So
Oof,
you had hung up long before that. You're like, I'm leaving.
Yep.
But check it out. It's youtube.com/CWF Mid-Atlantic. Also, check us out on Twitter at 1650 PWAM. This is 1650 Pro Wrestling and More. We gave you a little bit of the more this week. We got a good video up there of Jeff Edwards trying to do some commentary over some NASCAR. I don't know what that's all about.
You know what it's about,
It
lucky
is,
dog.
It's awesome. I am the lucky dog, Joe White, and there's no getting around it. That's my name now. I've been searching
think
for
it
a
is.
nickname. You got Daddy Cool AC, Hollywood Jeff Edwards, and the lucky dog, Joe White. That's beautiful.
I love it.
That's a T-shirt.
Perfect.
Anyway,
Thanks to CL Party too.
yes, thank you very much to CL Party for joining us. You can follow her on Twitter at CL Party. Jeff, I didn't have your Twitter handle up. I forgot it. Jeff is at Blading for Truth. And he also manages the 1650 PWAM account, so you can also follow him through there. I'm at Joe Pillow to Post. I have this shows you how stupid I am. I have my Twitter handle on the screen twice. I just now noticed that. One of them is supposed to be yours. I do apologize.
That's typical.
The picture-
Typical White.
throwing-
Typical lucky dog. Just hogging up the whole screen.
Throwing the picture of CL Party up there kind of threw me off, and then we got other pictures up there today. You can imagine the fun I had trying to go through CL Party pictures to put up on the screen. But
I pity you. I pity you, White.
I pity the fool who don't pick up my cereal, damn it. I ain't getting on no plane. Anyway. I love Mr. T. And he loves his mama. We know that.
That's right. Yes. Never forget.
Oh, man, that WrestleMania was brutal. Anyway. Oh, man. Anyway, folks, for Hollywood Jeff Edwards, I am Joe White here. We'll see you at the Sportatorium.